is a presentation of the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports.
It is a hot day on South Beach, and the team down the road in Coral Gables is flat out sizzling. 15th ranked Miami beat Duke earlier in the week. 4 players scored in double figures, led by Sheldon McClellan. Miami comes north to Raleigh to take on NC State and the ACC's leading scorer, Cat Barber. The Canes in the pack from PNC Bank Arena coming up next. A sellout crowd in Raleigh, North Carolina for this ACC Saturday. This afternoon, 15th ranked Miami comes into town to play the Wolfpack of NC State. When you talk about Miami, hi everybody, Tim Brandt, Dave Odom with you. Miami's been on a roll. They're 5-2 in the ACC, and while Sheldon McClellan gets all the talk, how about Angel Rodriguez and what he's been doing in the past 10 days?
Tim, historically, Angel Rodriguez is at his best against the very best. And today, North Carolina State's going to send one of the ACC's best right at him. But we know Angel Rodriguez can take the ball to the basket. He can shoot the three. And, Tim, if you've seen a better pass than that, I want to know about it.
Well, the Food Line starting lineups, we talked about McClellan, we talked about Rodriguez, and here's the rest of the starting lineup. Ja'Carri has to stay in the game to be successful for Miami. How about the other side now? You look at NC State. This is a team that looks better than it's been playing. This is a team that has struggled lately.
Well, of course, they've got Cat Barber, and Cat's on the loose. There's no question about that. But I'm impressed with how he uses his other teammates to get the ball back, and then they'll be able to score. He doesn't always have to play one-on-one basketball, but he'll give it up. He'll get it back. He knows how to set his man up. He can take the ball to the basket and score, but he also can shoot the three. I'm impressed also that he can attack, plant his foot, back off, and make the jump shot. He's a complete offensive player.
Take a look at the Food Line starting lineups. Last year they had the big three with Turner, Lacey, and now Cat's the only one left. You look at the lineup, this is the way they go for State. Abu has to have a big game, and Maverick Rowan has to score from the outside in the first half. They've got to get off to a better start. We're all set. We've got tip on this ACC Saturday. Coming up next, the U is ready. NC State, 1-7, looking for a big win today against a red-hot team. We'll be back with the opening tip right after this. Miami and NC State.
ACC basketball is being brought to you by Food Lion. Life's better with a lion. By Geico, saving people money for over 75 years. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Look at the library on a Saturday afternoon. Not much business. Beautiful day in Raleigh, North Carolina. Clear skies, sunny, temperature around 60 degrees. And we're ready. Miami comes in with a record of 16-3, 5-2 in the conference. 11-10 for NC State, just 1-7 in the conference. But they have it first, and this is Cat Barber. Good entry pass. Miami fills the lane, steps back, extends the defense now. Martin looks for an opening and misses his jumper. Cody Martin was short on that. State gets it back.
That's the one thing that Miami was worried about was offensive rebounding by the bigger, thicker individuals from players from the Wolfpack.
We talked about in the open, as you look at Freeman's shot, draws iron.
Well, of course,
talked about in the opening, they need to get Maverick Rowan, who can really shoot the basketball, get him involved early.
Well, he's a young freshman. He'll get better as he goes along, but he certainly can shoot the ball, and he's made some really big shots down the stretch, and they're trying to get him open.
Here he is.
Get him off.
His shot long, a little too much adrenaline, another offensive rebound.
And my goodness, that's the third offensive rebound. We hadn't even got to the other end of the court yet. And Cat Barber hadn't taken a shot yet.
Here's Freeman, Barber's first shot, bang!
That's one of the things we talked about in the opening, was using his teammates to get himself open. He gave it up, cut, came back, got the ball, separated, and made the shot.
Barber averages 23 points a game, 5 assists. We'll keep an eye on him. He's the scoring leader in the ACC. Into the corner. Murphy makes it look easy.
They don't look to him to score that much. He's a great defender. He can play all 5 positions, really, from a defensive standpoint. So the points they get from him, they feel like are gravy.
Murphy averages only 6 a game. Abu kicks it back out to Martin.
You know, they look at Cody Martin as being maybe the overall best player between the two. Caleb Martin is better scorer, but Cody Martin there puts it in.
Cody Martin with a tough shot. Shot clock was down to 5.
And that's not bad. North Carolina State does not want this game to get up and down too much.
Kick it back to Rodriguez from beyond the arc. He banks it in.
Yeah,
he even smiles as he goes back down.
Even
the
he
court.
smiles, and rightly so. There's no way he thought that was going in, but
his 3 ball gives Miami the 1-point lead. Inside to Freeman. Back door was wide open.
I got to believe that was something that's been worked on the last 2 days. And from all reports, North Carolina State has had 2 great days of practice getting ready for today's game.
Entry pass to Tanya. Little jump hook is good.
And you got to like his development. Jim Larinaga and their staff have done a great job with him. I remember when he came in a couple of years ago and wasn't near the player then that he is today.
He's big, isn't he? 7 feet, 250 pounds. The senior out of Nigeria. Not a good shot by Abu, and that starts Miami going the other way. This is from beyond the arc. McClellan drew iron. It wasn't even close.
You know, Tim, when you look at the big men for North Carolina State, they're big and they're strong, and if they've got an alley to the basket, they're good. But if they have to be creative, if they have to pass the ball, dribble the ball, they become somewhat obstructed. They're not able to get the ball to the basket.
Martin tries to penetrate but can't go, and Abu knocks down a 2-point jumper.
That's a good example there. They didn't have to move with the ball. He just shot it. Less is better as far as North Carolina State's big guys.
The last couple of weeks, people say if you can stop Cat Barber, you can stop NC State. So they need these other guys to step up.
It's got to be Cat and his friends. He's got to find something.
Another shot by Murphy, and that one bangs down and finds its way home. He's got 4 points.
Kamari Murphy, that's 4 points for him right out of the gates, and that's a tremendous thing for Jim Larinaga.
He's a basket away from his average already. Martin in the lane, another tough shot, and nothing but net.
This is an unusual game. You've got 2 baskets from him. He's averaging barely over that.
That's going to be a foul against Cody Martin. His first, the team's first. Well, they're hitting from all angles, off the backboard and rattling them home. It's a 1-point game.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the floor.
Almost 5 minutes in, 1-point game. Take a look at our Carolina Ford keys to the game, Dave.
Well, you know, first of all, for Miami, they've got to use their depth to their own advantage. They're very comfortable with 8 players in depth wide. They can go as much as 9 or 10. And for North Carolina State, they got to find some help for Cat Barber. They already have Cody.
Here's Miami. Throw it away. First turnover of the game for the Hurricanes. NC State started 0-3. Since then, they've gone 5-6.
Well, they certainly have started really good, and they've gotten some help from, you know, people that you don't really expect it to come from. We've already mentioned
Cody Martin.
Yeah, and
he
Kamari
averages
Murphy
6 points,
Cody.
and Murphy averages 6.
Exactly.
They're both right around their averages already. Nice feed to Barber.
That's a great example there of Cat Barber being able to use his teammates to get himself open. He doesn't always have to play the one-on-one.
Nice pass by Cody Martin. They've got Cody Martin. He's played a 4. He's played the shooting guard. He's a point guard behind Barber when Barber was out with that knee injury. kick it back out. Rodriguez. He knocks that down for 3.
Yeah, that was more of a conventional 3, going straight in like that. And, you know, Jim Larinaga's begun to go through his regular lineup now. We've got a couple of subs in there, and Jaquan Newton, Cruz Uceda, very, very comfortable in substituting. Not so much with the Wolfpack.
How about that? Got in close, couldn't finish it. B.J. Anya. Washington, D.C. DeMatha product in the game now for State. Barber looks at the 3, takes it. Rodriguez can't hold on against Abu. And Anya's fouled.
B.J. Anya giving a great screen, getting that ball back. And, of course, Angel Rodriguez hits a more conventional 3, and the missed dunk on the other end, you know, is a good example of, you know, the Wolfpack big guys not moving so much with the ball, but doing less and making more out of it.
B.J. Anya is only a 33% free throw shooter. Coach, he's only hit 19 of his 58 attempts this year.
I've got some coaching advice for him. Close your eyes and try it. You couldn't do a whole lot.
The foul, by the way, was on Uceda, his first. Anya misses them both. You look at the frustration. He actually smiles. He knows.
Well, to be honest with you, both of those shots were clean out of his hands, and they were right there. They could have gone. I think he needs to stay with his shot a little bit longer, making it softer. Those kind of shots will find their way into the basket at that point.
Juan Newton in the ball game for Miami. He's played well. He's off the bench, and he is strong coming off that bench. Rodriguez through his legs, gets it out back on the perimeter. Rodriguez with a good pump fake and gets his own rebound. Nice feed underneath. They wanted a Murphy wanted a foul on Anya, didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure he shouldn't have gotten that too. Looked like he got hit.
So NC State now will set its offense. Cat Barber has gotten everybody involved so far.
I like the way North Carolina State is trying to go through their post, involving those guys. If you can do that, you keep all of them involved in a whole lot better.
Ahead for the slam dunk.
Yeah, what happened there, Tim, is Cat Barber was stuck down in the corner and throwing the ball in, and he watched Abu try to make the basket. Didn't get good, proper floor balance there. You're going to get burned every single time like that.
James Palmer got out on the break, and there was nobody back there. Martin back to Barber, looks at it, steps back, takes the 3.
Well, he missed that shot, but Cat Barber's not going to miss many shots that open in the game.
This foul will be against Abdul Malik Abu, his first. Coach Odom, what do you see so far?
Well, I think what we've seen so far is pretty much what we thought. North Carolina State is playing, you know, pretty much at the pace they want to play at, and they've got everybody involved properly.
Say's shot is long again.
Well, the Hurricanes on the other end, they're starting to substitute. The depth's starting to pay off.
NC State does not look as reliant on Barber as they have the last several games.
You can tell right there, too, Tim, they've got him on the wing now and letting one of the Martin twins play the point.
Shot clock back to 5. He's got to go. 3, 2, and how about that? They bail him out with a foul with 1 on the shot clock. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. Fouls on Angel Rodriguez. 2-point game. We're in Raleigh.
Tim, let's take a look at Cat Barber, what he's done so far this year. Today, he's using his teammates to get himself open. He hits baskets when he's not open. He doesn't necessarily have to have the ball every single minute. He knows how to use screens. I'm very impressed with his ability to play with the ball, but also his ability to use his teammates to make baskets.
You see, he leads the ACC in scoring, 8 points a game, so just about 23 points a game. Today, 4 points. He's 2 of 4 shooting. Miami 5 assists on their last 6 field goals in as Cat Barber knocks that one down.
Yeah, one of the things he does is he takes his time, and on this particular free throw situation here, he took his time and created the foul situation. That's about his, I don't know, 27th maybe free throw in a row there. So he's, you know, easily the best free throw shooter in this league.
No question. He's an 87% free throw shooter. He's now hit 149 of his 171 free throws.
For the first time, they're back in the zone now. I'm not surprised to see this at all. They're going to test the shooting ability, outside shooting ability of the Miami team, but I do know they were expecting the big go against it.
Shot clock has not been a factor until this last possession for Miami. Just barely got that one off before the shot clock violation by Newton. Here's Martin, looks at a three. They jump out on him, reset with Barber. Last field goal for NC State was way back at 14:42. So it's been over 3 minutes since they've gotten a field goal. Here's Barber, ends that.
Oh, how good was that? I mean, he starts out one way, he gets the defense to overextend himself and goes back towards the baseline. I love his ability to attack and separate and shoot.
Barber now with 8 points in this game. Back to a 2-point spread.
When you look at North Carolina State zone, it's impressive. It's big. Their arms are out. Offensive foul.
Foul is on Jaquan Newton. Hey, win a trip for you and 3 friends to Washington, D.C. for this year's New York Life ACC tournament. Post your best selfie on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram with the hashtag #BringYourAGame. For a chance to win tickets, airfare, hotel stay, and a $1,000 gift card. That's all for the ACC tournament, the New York Life ACC tournament in Washington, D.C. Visit theacc.com/selfie for more information.
If you're Mark Godfrey, Tim, I think you got to be pleased with the way this game started. They've had some very slow starts, and some which he's been critical of.
Maverick Rowan looked for a foul, didn't get it, comes up with an air ball. Usaida has 2 personals already in the ball game. Murphy has it blocked away. Rowan comes away with it. They've got numbers. Ahead to Cat Barber. Nicely done by the Wolfpack. Defense at the other end. That'll start them going again. Cat Barber on the transition again. Pulls it back. Caleb Martin in the game now for NC State.
Well, that's game management right there. Cat Barber knew they had numbers, but they were numbers the other way. He pulled it back out.
Barber with 7 on the shot clock. This is the layup. So Cody Martin goes out. Caleb Martin is in for NC State. This is for 3. Yes, sir. Davon Reed.
Yeah, one of the impressive things about the Hurricanes is they can attack you at all 5 positions. Murphy early. Palmer, he can hit. Of course, McClellan, we know, very, very good. Davon Reed as well.
Davon Reed's first basket of the afternoon. They've used every bit of the shot clock throughout the game. This first shot is partially blocked by Newton.
Yeah, Tim, that's the first real bad offensive possession, I think, for North Carolina State. Nobody touched the ball except Cat Barber on that last possession.
Here's Newton to the foul line, down the lane. Big rebound by Tanya Jakiri. Davon Reed takes it baseline. And gets a second chance.
There's a lot of beef in that lane by both teams. Davon Reed going right in there, unafraid, put the rebound back.
That's 5 points, 2 possessions for Davon Reed. There's a look at Mike Godfrey.
Well, you're going to be impressed
52
with
years old, took over.
A guy like Mark Godfrey. You know, his team has not played as well as I'm sure he wanted them to play over the last couple of weeks. He's hung right in there. He's really worked his team hard the last couple of days. You know, no doubt, you know, his record right now, notwithstanding, he's got a much better club than, you know, people are giving him credit for having right now. I think they're entering a very important part of the schedule right now. You've got a home game here against one of the very best teams in the league. But it's a team, as you look at them, they match up very well through the first 7 guys against Miami.
Mark Gottfried's been successful everywhere he's gone at Murray State, Alabama, SEC Coach of the Year in 2002. Maverick Rowan got his first point of the game but missed the second free throw. Davon Reed looked at it, now drives with it. Right now, the pace of the game favors NC State, you would think.
It does. And, you know, just the fact that you've got a guy like Cat Barber in there who can manage the game, not take too many shots, get it off just in time.
Cat Barber, we're tied at 19. You are watching the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports. Also streaming live now on the ACC.com and on the official ACC mobile app. Today's coverage of ACC basketball is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome the nearly 1 million men and women of the U.S. Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines stationed around the globe in 175 countries and on the high seas. We're so proud to have you with us and hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And we appreciate what all of you do every single day. While we were away, this vet was just given a brand new home. Only in America. Wow. Meanwhile, here in this game, we've had 4 ties, 9 lead changes, and we are tied at 19. Tim Brandt, Coach Dave Odom with you. It's fouling Maverick Rowan. Cody Martin, correction. That's 2 on Martin.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That was maybe a little bit of a touch foul there that Martin didn't get away with.
Newton in the lane, takes it himself. Jaquan Newton's penetrated well. He's gotten in close. He's gotten high percentage shots that come up empty, 2 shots in a row.
And that's what he's been doing all year long. He's been able to get into the lane like that. And, you know, he's a tremendous weapon coming off the bench as a 6th man.
That's his first personal foul. He's the highest rated recruit on this roster, 2nd leading scorer. If you're just joining us, Cat Barber already has 10 points, 4 of 8 from the field. He's the leading scorer in the ACC. Booth throws it away, or was it touched by Newton? It was. It'll belong to NC State. NC State today with no turnovers to this point.
Well, you've got great ball handling with Cat Barber, and of course the Martin twins are doing a really good job as well filling in there. You want to stay off that baseline as much as you can. I think the Miami team would love to have you down there, get them trapped.
At the shoot around this morning as Cat Barber banks it in on the left side with the left hand. The shoot around this morning, Jim Larinaga was talking about, they played better against teams with a lot of possessions. And right now, NC State is using all the shot clock, every possession, to try to limit that. McClellan shot partially blocked.
Cat Barber can take that ball all the way down. He could pull up and shoot the jump shot, but in this case, he chose to take it all the way in. And he's got an equally good left hand, and of course, we all know he's right-handed.
See how much of the shot clock they use in this possession. They've taken it down inside 10 virtually every possession.
I think Miami now has gone to a bit of a matchup right now, and that's slowed the pace even more.
Cat Barber looks at the shot clock and yells down, you got to shoot. It's down to 3. Throws it up with the left hand.
Good defensive change that time, Tim, by Miami.
Davon Reed pushed it hard. Back out to Newton. Tanya Jakiri in the lane. Sloppy with the basketball. Here's Newton again. In close, misses again.
I'm impressed with the interior defense of the Wolfpack big guys right now. They're staying on the floor and not fouling.
Abdul Malik Abu, 6'8", sophomore out of Boston, Massachusetts. He has 4 points.
He's just too big for Murphy down there. Without any kind of help at all, which Murphy did not have that time, he's going to wheel and get to the basket almost every time.
Reed's shot draws iron. That'll get State going the other way.
A lot of jump shots out of the Hurricanes right now, Tim. I'm not sure they're going to be able to survive playing that many.
Cat Barber got to where he wanted to go, but there wasn't much left. Couldn't get it to the rack. Newton with the alley-oop.
That's good team weight, Newton. Seeing McClellan going baseline like that, you only do that when you play against each other for a long time and with each other in practice for a long time. Zone defense for the Hurricanes.
That's McClellan's first bucket. Take a look at Abdul Malik Abu.
Yeah, Murphy's down there all by himself that time, not able to do anything at all. When you get to the rim, you can really dump that ball. Great eye contact with McClellan on the baseline, getting that ball up and then around the rim. I'm surprised, Tim, with the zone defense that Miami's put up in the last 2 or 3 possessions, that the Wolfpack have been able to get it in there on one pass right inside and play one-on-one.
Abu is only a 62% free throw shooter. Looked pretty good on that one. Had good rotation. He now has 5 points.
You know, one of the ideas with the zone is to get more help to the ball when it is interior, make it tough to get it inside. It's
Makes
been anything but that.
Makes them both. Miami has no free throws to this point. McClellan for 3.
That's the age and experience of a guy like McClellan.
Martin answers for NC State. Wolfpack playing with confidence. NC State 1 for 7. 1 and 7 in the ACC. McClellan fires again and knocks it down from 3. Tickles the twine.
You knew that was going right out of his hands. Now, if Martin hits one on McClellan, we know they're after each other. It's 3 in a row. 2 by McClellan, 1 by Martin. There it is. There it is.
How about this?
It's 2 for each. Now, if McClellan hits one on Martin, we got a scoop.
Martin was all over McClellan that time. Wasn't going to let him get the ball. Denied every pass.
Well, you got to like the chutzpah of both. When they felt the moment and they went ahead and took the shot.
Here's Martin again. The crowd was pulling for him. Rodriguez pushes it. Lane closed on him. Pulls back for the 3. Yes, sir.
Well, the shots are falling like raindrops right now, but I'm not sure this is going to be in the best interest of either team in the long run.
Timeout on the floor. It's a shootout between State and Miami. How about Sheldon McClellan? Bang! How about Martin on the other side? Splash! 1-point game. Cat Barber leads all scorers with 12 points in a 1-point game. Here's today's trivia question. It's courtesy of Duke Energy. Abdul Malik Abu leads NC State with 10 double-doubles this season. Who's the all-time season leader in double-doubles for the Wolfpack? We'll check back later in the game for the answer. Download more ACC trivia. It is powered by Duke Energy in your app store. And I know you know the answer, Coach Dave Odom.
Well, if I do, I'm not telling.
No, please don't.
You know, just to show you how close this game is from an offensive standpoint, both teams are shooting exactly the same thing at this point. 12 out of 27 from the floor.
Cat Barber, money at the line. He's got 13 points.
You got to like his growth as a Wolfpack player over the last, what would it be, 3 years. Another change of defenses, a little bit of light pressure at half court. Settling back in that 2-3 zone.
Cat Barber 4 for 4 at the line today. He's got 29 straight at the free throw line. Miami's 4 of the last 5. Here's Rodriguez from way outside.
Well, that's one of the shots that I think you don't mind at the end of the shot clock, but that was totally unnecessary, I think. I think Jim Larinaga would certainly agree with that.
Martin missed a 3 at this end. Last touch by Tanya Jakiri. So a new 30 for the Wolfpack as they bring it in offensively.
It's been one of the differences in the game is second chance points. Started on the first possession, really hadn't stopped.
Dangerous pass back to Cat Barber, and he can't hold on. It'll belong to Miami.
Yeah, great play there by Angel Rodriguez. It was not going to give him the free inbound there. Challenged him at half court.
That's 2 turnovers. Look at, he tried to make the save.
Well, he was acrobatic, but you know, the pass led him into pretty much a dead end. He had no chance.
Mark Godfrey didn't like it. I'll tell you that. That's 2 turnovers now for State after being clean through the first 10 minutes. Here's Rodriguez from beyond the arc, and that goes over the backboard.
Well, he missed that shot, but that was more in tune with what Jim Larinaga would want. I was talking to Jim Larinaga yesterday. He counts touches, the number of passes in a game. He wanted to get upwards of 200 touches in any one game, which gives you more assists, which makes a more fluid play.
Here's Martin, little stop and go, takes it to the basket, he's fouled. Caleb Martin will go to the line for Jakiri. That's his first personal.
Well, it's one of those situations where you got Martin carrying the ball to the basket, and you know, Jakiri up in the air. I'm not sure he hit him. I'm not sure that should have been a foul, but you know, you've got to get better position than that, and you know, because of that, most of the time the referee's going to give that to the offense.
That's a rare miss for Caleb Martin. He's a 75% free throw shooter.
Back in for Miami.
I think Martin was one of them in that Georgia Tech game that missed some timely free throws down the stretch, which gave the opening to Georgia Tech to go ahead and win that basketball game. Big game for Brian Gregory and his crowd.
Caleb Martin, 6'7", 215-pounder from Oak. Went to Oak Hill. He's a sophomore from down here in North Carolina. He now has 7 points.
You know, Tim, with the limited bench that North Carolina State has, you can see the Martin twins growing as players the more experience they get.
Look at that. Miami with 9 team fouls. State with just 3.
I do like this zone. It's big. Timeout. Jim Larinaga, Miami Hurricanes.
Well, the ACC and your local Toyota dealers are unlocking the ACC archives, where you can relive over 90 classic basketball games for free. Miami's first ever ACC win, early January of 2005. Guillermo Diaz led the Canes with 26 points. Miami led by 1. The Wolfpack, though, had a 3-pointer by Fetterman to win it, but it was off mark. And over the backboard as the Hurricanes won 67-66. Visit the ACC.com/vault. It's brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Jim Larinaga in his 5th season at Miami, 66 years old, New Yorker, played at Providence, took George Mason to the Final Four with Lamar Butler. Quality coach, quality man.
He's made a real impact on the ACC since he's been here, and he's revived this program. I heard the other day he had sold out every game in the United Bank Center down there. All right, we got a zone defense there by North Carolina State. I'd look for some sort of back lob, maybe at the end of the shot clock.
Shot clock's down to 5, so Newton fires an air ball from deep in the corner.
I doubt that's what Jim Larinaga called timeout to get an air ball.
NC State was concerned about its point production in the first halves of games. They had a closed practice last night, team-only meeting. So far, this game has just gone exactly the way they'd like it. And there's Abdul Malik Abu. Bucket counts. He'll go to the line for 1 more.
That's raw power. Just so much stronger than Uceda Cruz.
That's 3 personals on Uceda.
Taking him out after 2. He's coming back out after 3.
Miami's a different team when Tanya Jakiri's not on the floor.
Yeah, and also when he's not that much a part of what's going on, and he has not been in this game.
Abu makes his free throw and converts the three-point play.
You know, from Miami's standpoint, Tim, it's been one jump shot after the other. Kanye has not been much of a part of the offense.
Biggest lead of the game, NC State by 7.
Man-to-man.
NC State has extended the defense, denying the ball. And with 4 on the shot clock, Rodriguez scores. The end of the first half, this shot good if it goes. Mark Gottfried's got to be excited about the way his team played. Jim Larinaga, well, these pictures tell you the story. Coming up on the Hardy's halftime report, we'll give you a preview of our second Kings of the Court show. You don't want to miss that. We highlight the story of one of the best players in the ACC, Notre Dame's Demetrius Jackson. What a story that is. Profile one of the greatest players ever at Louisville, Dr. Duncanstein, Darrell Griffith. You remember him, Coach. All that plus highlights and stats on the Hardy's halftime report and a whole lot more.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the court the
An interesting first half in Raleigh. NC State 37, 15th ranked Miami 32.
ACC basketball is being brought to you by Food Lion. Life's better with a lion. By Geico, saving people money for over 75 years. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Raleigh for our Hardy's halftime report. Hardy's presents the Hardy's halftime report. The $4 real deal, 4 items for just $4, only at Hardy's. Tim Brandt and Dave Odom with you. You look at the first half that Cat Barber had. He leads all scorers with 14 points. He averages 23, so he's on his way to top that. But this game has really gone the way of NC State.
It really has, and Cat Barber has been the leader. There's no question about that. He scored. He uses his teammates to help himself get open. But, you know, that's part of the story, I think, is his ability to attack, score, but also use the teammates. And when you think about his teammates, you think about Abu, who has given a lot of the screens, but has played really, really well in terms of his of rebounding. You think about a guy like Caleb Martin, who hit 2 or 3 threes there in a row, which has really helped, and even Anye. So I think in addition to Cat Barber, he's had a lot of help.
Put an exclamation point on what Coach just talked about is the fact that NC State has dominated the boards 22-13.
And it started off that way. They got 4 offensive rebounds in the first 2 possessions, and they put them to good use. They were able to score at the end of that, and I think it sent pretty much a message not only to Miami, but I think to the rest of the arena, hey, we're here to play.
You would think that NC State would be able to maintain this momentum. Their second half team, they've scored more points in the second half than the first all year.
They really have, but they've gotten off to a good start today, and you know that's going to, I think, bode well for the second half.
Well, it's been an interesting first half, certainly exciting. We're over here at the PNC Arena, but look at Reynolds looking as good as it did back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. All set for the second half, 37-32, State over 15th ranked Miami. Well, Rodriguez has 11, but Cat Barber with 14 is the story of this game.
Well, it really is, and you know, he can do it off the dribble. He can take it all the way. He's got a good left hand, a good right hand. He shoots the jump shot, and he knows how to involve his teammates.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights of that first half, Coach.
Well, of course, you know, the Hurricanes have some really good players as well. McClellan being one of them. Angel Rodriguez, he can shoot the 3 even if it is off the glass when he's not supposed to. He's got 11 points, and he's doing really well. But Cat Barber continues to use his teammates to get himself open. He's got 14 points for the game. And I think one of the things that we can't forget about when we look at stats is that the North Carolina State Wolfpack, they've taken 13 free throws to none. Not a single free throw for the Miami team.
And it's a 5-point game, so free throws making a big difference here. We'll have the start of the second half right after these messages.
ACC basketball is being brought to you by Haviland, official motor oil of the ACC. by your Carolina Ford dealer. And by Gatorade. Win from within.
The great Reynolds Coliseum right there on the campus of NC State. You know, they started construction way back in 1941 because of the war and everything else. Didn't open until 1949, but the $35 million project is expected to be completed in August. The north end will be the home of the NC State Athletic Hall of Fame, Walk of Champions. Women's basketball, volleyball, ROTC programs will have new offices. You remember that building well. It was, what a classic that building has been.
Listen, I grew up a closet North Carolina State fan. The old Ray Reeves was the great announcer here, and I can remember many nights my mom and dad would put me to bed at 8 o'clock, and I would hear Ray Reeves come on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ray Reeves speaking to you from William Neal Reynolds Coliseum. It was a wonderful place to play basketball, and it was all the way through right to the end.
I can't help but look at that building and immediately think of David Thompson and Burleson and Stoddard and that group. Wow.
Well, of course, Everett Case was the first great basketball coach that came to North Carolina State. And he actually changed basketball in the state of North Carolina and the South.
Miami with its third turnover of the game, so the second half starts well for the Pack. This is Cat Barber.
Well,
what has to happen in the second half, Coach?
Well, I'm telling you, if you're North Carolina, good night.
How about the back door?
Well, Tanya Shakiri's got to help on that. If they were to throw the ball to Abu in the high post, there would be no harm done. He's got to back off and help Angel Rodriguez a little bit.
Barber with 16 points now. Tanya Shakiri has a tough time getting it back, but nice feed inside. They almost lost it. Shot clock down to 10.
It's going up.
McClellan right to the rack, and he's fouled.
Well, now what we just saw right there was something we've got to see more of, and that's Miami taking the ball to the basket because they've shot no free throws at all. But, you know, when you look at Cat can move without the ball very, very well, get himself open. But again, Tanya Shakiri's got to help him.
This foul was on Cody Martin, which is his third, so McClellan makes the first.
Okay, so that would be the first shot and the first make for Miami. Here it is at the beginning of the second half. Key stat, Tim.
Sheldon McClellan, who averages 16 points, has 9 in this game so far. He's in double figures.
Things are not going well for Miami. You think of guys like Sheldon McClellan stepping up. He's got experience. He's got age. He's not afraid. You'll see more of him as the game progresses.
If you're just joining us, NC State would use all the shot clock every possession in that first half. And again, it's down to 12.
Well, you can do that when you've got Cat Barber to make sure you get a good shot off.
Down to 7, and Cat Barber banks it in.
No question. Miami's got to get help to Angel Rodriguez guarding Cat Barber, particularly late in the shot clock like that.
Murphy from long range throws up a brick. Maverick Rowan comes away with it.
I tell you, Cat is playing under control as well as I've seen him play all year.
I think the entire NC State team is under control
really
as well as I've seen them. Abu backs in, throws a little jump hook. Miami takes it away. And it's a turnover for Miami.
Yeah, that's not something you see often with Cat Barber getting the advantage defensively right there. He's usually a waiver.
McClellan a little bit out of control.
He certainly would have been much better off to stay and take that jump shot. But boy, I tell you, he can really use you at the end of the shot clock. And, you know, if you're Miami, you've got to get more than one defender on him at the end of the shot clock.
McClellan has 3 turnovers now, which is unlike him. Here's Barber with a nice crossover and a nice dish. Leonard Freeman left alone.
Angel Rodriguez is pointing at himself.
The answer by Newton.
If you're Mark Godford, you can't be happy with that. You know, you make a nice offensive play on one end and then go to sleep getting back on defense. But it's the first time they've done that today, so maybe it'll be the last as far as they're concerned.
Picks up his dribble. Gives it to Freeman and gets it back. 5 on the shot clock. Oh, how about Cat Barber? That was a prayer. But again, ahead to McClellan. They can't finish it. Pass was a little bit too far, but he was open. Rodriguez for 3.
Well, clearly Miami, under the direction of Jim Larinaga, has decided to pick the pace up and get some easy baskets. Didn't happen that time, but
they call this on Rodriguez. And that's 3 on Angel Rodriguez.
I tell you, in order to make a tough shot like that with the pressure that he's got, you've got to be concentrating on making the shot, not on getting fouled. Wonderful play by Barber.
Rodriguez still talking to Jamie Luckey, the official. He didn't like the call, and it's his 3rd personal.
You know, if you're Larinaga right now, you got to be thinking maybe I got to get some help to him.
That's an offensive on Cat Barber.
That's the move he's been using the last 3 or 4 times. That time, Angel Rodriguez realized it was coming. Started right, come back to his left. Angel Rodriguez was waiting for him.
That's 3 on Barber. Correction, 2 personals.
Yeah, if Cat Barber continues to have his way with Angel Rodriguez guarding, I'd look for Jim Larinaga to maybe put somebody like Jaquan Newton on him. A little bigger body, maybe to give him harder time shooting over.
McClellan fires from beyond the range. But everything's in his range as he knocks down the 3. Great effort by Rodriguez to knock it out of bounds.
Interesting, both teams starting to run a little bit more. Pace is picked up on both ends of the court, much more so than it was in the first half.
Well, Jim Larinaga was saying this morning at the shoot-around.
Now we've got that defensive change I was talking about. We got Newton guarding Barber. He's a bigger player, taller, change up.
Travel turnover, NC State. Cat Barber, the story of this game. 45-38 Pack.
Again, Cat Barber, when you look at him, he's taking the lead for the North Carolina State team. I mean, he's been using this right to left crossover, getting to the basket. He still knows how to use the high post guys to get himself open. Sometimes when he goes in and he draws the defenders, he can get it to his teammates for easy layups. So he's got 20 points already, Tim, and he's well on his way to 30, which he's hit 3 or 4 times already this year.
He's the leading scorer in the ACC. You look at the single games this season, most points scored. That's a pretty good threesome right there, Coach.
Well, it really is, and he's just such a great player.
Rodriguez goes down hard.
You know, I mentioned this earlier, but I think it's worth mentioning again. You know, when Cat Barber came in as a freshman, you know, he was soft. He could score, but he wasn't what I would call mentally tough. I think he thought he was going to be easier than it's turned out to be. He's a completely different player. Now you give Mark Godfrey, you give his staff credit for that. They brought him along. He developed him as not only a player, but I think as a young man. He deports himself like an ACC basketball player who's the best at his position should.
Meanwhile, Rodriguez makes both of his free throws. He now has 13 points. He had a roller coaster season last year. Averaged 12 points a game, 4 assists. Right around that right now, but he's having a much better season as a floor general.
Zone defense for the Hurricanes right now. We'll see how that works.
The alley-oop to the Boo doesn't finish. Too high. That gets the transition going for Miami, and that's the way they like to play. Seda looked at the 3, passed it up. McClellan looks at it. They jump out on him and extend.
Got to stay after McMillan. He's feeling it.
McClellan misses. This foul will be on Jakiri. Coach, let's take a look at the nation's top 25. It's brought to you by Honda Dealers of the Carolinas. Miami, number 15. 6 6 teams in the ACC in the top 25. Very impressive.
Well, it is. You know, there's always banter back and forth about which is the better league, this one, that one, or the other. None better than the ACC. None.
Back to a 5-point game. Martin picks up his dribble. Gets it back to Barber with 14 on the shot clock. Runs into Jakiri, has to shoot over him. Good defensive series by Miami, and they go to the other end, and they're fouled by Maverick Rowan.
Clearly, Tim, the pace of the game has been picked up. Jim Larinaga at halftime telling his players, without the basketball, you run the lanes. Angel Rodriguez will get it to you. They've had a couple of layups. This foul situation is a result of the fast pace that they're going and the Wolfpack not getting back.
Well, these foul shots mean a lot to Miami right now, and Davon Reed knocks down the first. He's a 78% free throw shooter. Reed has only 6 points, but makes them both.
Well, he's a timely scorer. They need it right now, and this is a time that, you know, guys like Davon Reed step up. Again, the zone defense, I think, is big. It's a big defense. Hard to get the ball inbounds.
That kid can shoot. That's Maverick Rowan, the freshman from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And, of course, that's being from Fort Lauderdale. He's got to feel good about getting that against the Hurricane team.
Miami had reeled back the Wolfpack to 3 points. Pushes it back to 48-42.
A lot of time in this game left.
Rodriguez bangs it in high off the board.
Captain Barber gave it one of those 2 arms up in the air. Is where my help coming from. There was no help to be seen on that play.
4-point game. Reed jumped down on Barber. Shot clock down to 10. Abu misses from really close range, and Newton comes away with it. Uceda from way outside.
Yeah, that was from Madrid. I do think Miami has changed the pace with 2 things, the zone and running the floor.
Abu finishes strong. Abdul Malik, the sophomore, has 11 points.
I don't know why, but Tanya Chikere is not in the game on either end of the court right now, Tim. I don't know where he's feeling well or not, but they're not throwing him the ball. He's not an offensive threat, and defensively, you can just see Abu turn in on him.
You know when Newton gets it, he's going to try to penetrate. Got caught in the air, gets it back to Rodriguez. Shot clock at 7. Newton again, pump fake, shot. Empty. Maverick Rowan has it taken away. Pickpocketed by Newton. You're right about the tempo.
It is. It's picked up.
Good move by Jim Larinaga.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What he was doing or what his team was doing, the pace they were working was not working.
That one was from closer than Madrid, and he came up short.
Yeah, that was more from the Madeira Islands.
This is going to be on Uceda. Got his hands on the hips. They're not going to put up with that this year. 11:52 to play. NC State maintaining its lead. Looking for the upset over the 15th ranked Canes. Down in Tallahassee this afternoon, the Florida State Seminoles beat Clemson 76-65. 2 freshmen led the way. Malik Beasley, 16 points. But the big story, of course, Dwayne Bacon, 21 points. That's a heck of a duo, and they paid it off 76-65. Take a look at around the ACC from Progressive Insurance, and Syracuse comes away with a tough earned win over Georgia Tech. That Georgia Tech game was at the Carrier Dome at noon this afternoon. Don't forget Virginia and Louisville. That's a big win for the Cavaliers. Surprisingly, that game was at Louisville. Don't forget, tomorrow, Wake Forest, Notre Dame. We'll see Demetrius Jackson in that game.
Well, we know that Virginia has a really good basketball team. Oh, as Martin drills a three right out of the timeout. But I have to tell you, I'm very, very surprised at the size of the Virginia-Louisville score.
Caleb Martin, who's the better shooter of the two, now in double figures. Step back by McClellan and puts it down. Boy, they needed that.
Well, they do. And again, the experience of a guy like Sheldon McClellan really comes to the fore and rises to the top. You're going to see more of him, more of Davon Reed.
Back to Martin. Not time to go to the rack yet. Still have 15 on the shot clock. They've been single digits most of the afternoon. Now down to 9. Martin looks at it, fires. Knocks it down for 3. Are you serious?
Well, Jim Larinaga turns and puts his hands up in the air and says, what are you going to do? He's not supposed to be doing that, but he is. And again, I go back. The Martins have grown. They're better players now than they were this time last year.
Caleb Martin, just a 32% three-point shooter. It's a 10-point lead. And that's their largest. And they get the rebound and try to add to it.
And we talked about Shaqiri getting in the game. That's not what we're talking about. Him shooting 18, 19-foot jump shots is not what the Hurricanes need.
Cat Barber, great first step. Nice look, good pass. Can't finish. I just got to finish that. This is going to be a foul, I believe, against NC State. It is.
Yeah, well, coming out of the timeout, you've got Caleb Martin coming off the screen with only 4 seconds on the shot clock and making that jump shot. He's really been a big factor. You know, we said at the beginning that, you know, Cat Barber's going to need a couple of playmates to go with him, and he's found one in Caleb Martin.
James Palmer, the sophomore from Washington, D.C., hits the first.
Actually, all 7 players that have played a lot for the Wolfpack have contributed in their own way today.
Palmer makes them both. Every one of those now becomes magnified as we go into 10 minutes to play in the game. Miami didn't have a free throw in the first half. Here in the second half, they're 8 for 8, keeping them in the game. Rowan turns it over, bounced it off his foot. Newton takes it right to the basket. Lead is down to 6.
Yeah, I think Jim Larinaga called a timeout after that particular play.
Timeout, Miami. You are watching the ACC Network. It's an exclusive production of Raycom Sports. Also streaming live now on the ACC.com and on the official ACC mobile app. 9:46 to play. NC State trying to pull the upset over 15th ranked Miami. It's a 6-point game.
Well, several years ago, the National Association of Basketball Coaches got together and said, let's do something to help the war on cancer. And, of course, they came back up with coaches wearing certain sneakers at game time as we watch Cat Barber hit that shot right out of the break. You got to love Jim Larinaga's team. I'm not so sure I like his taste in sneakers.
Cat Barber with 22 points. It's an 8-point game. That's for 3.
Yeah, you got to give at least half that basket to Tanya Shaqiri. Cross court pass coming out of that double team led to an open shot.
This is going to be up to Cat Barber to close the deal this afternoon to get the upset, and Barber throws it away. Miscommunication between Maverick Rowan, who gave a little head fake and looked for the back door.
You know, we talked about the ability of Shaqiri to get involved here. And I can't stress enough, throwing the ball to him where he can do something with it, and that includes getting the ball out of the double team.
Shaqiri way back out at the top of the key. McClellan's shot is not even close. Rowan will fire. Good defense by Miami. Starts it the other way. They've got numbers. Not a smart play. They had a 4-on-1.
That's amazing. Now, this is the third time that's happened. He got 2 of the calls. He was clearly in position. I don't think he was moving. I think it was a great call by the officials. But that's the third one of those that has happened.
Why don't he take it to the foul line, Coach, and let the guys funnel on both sides of it?
It was a perfect time for one of those Euro moves, or coming to the middle and let somebody in, funnel in behind him, give the little bounce pass and a layup.
Keep an eye on him, make sure he's all right. Cat Barber through his legs, working against Rodriguez. He likes to extend that left arm to get the advantage. Anya down the middle, misses the dunk, but was he fouled? Whistle blows, stops it, he is fouled.
Well, that's a great play, certainly by Cat Barber. Not only can he score, but he can pass. And he was looking down the lane, and here comes Benjay Anya. Beautiful pass. He gave it. You know, if it had been an air pass, it had been hard to catch. It was a bounce pass, made it soft, put him on the foul line. Now, that's not the best thing for the Wolfpack, because we know Anya's not the best free throw shooter.
BJ gets the first one, and the crowd goes crazy. If you missed this earlier, he's a 33% free throw shooter. He had missed his attempts today. That's his first point of the game.
And also, that's the biggest hand of the day.
A little bit of confidence.
And that's an even bigger hand.
Gives NC State their biggest lead.
Look what's happened here. They're putting Jakari up top. They're not guarding him. If he wants to be a distributor, they're allowing him to do that.
7:54 remaining, 60-53. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. 15th ranked Miami down 7. You've got under 8 minutes to play. What's he telling his team now, Coach?
Well, I think there are 2 things. One, he's got to keep the pace up. They got to continue to run. It was too slow. When he gets too slow, the pace falls in the favor of North Carolina State, because they got the best pace guard in the league in Cat Barber. The other thing that they've got to do is they've got to correct one stat, 24-12. North Carolina State has scored 24 paint points. They've only scored 12. They got to get the ball inside some.
This is a game that in the first 12 minutes had 9 lead changes, only 1 since. NC State has led most of this ball game. Behind the back, Cat Barber runs by Rodriguez.
And they're messing with each other now.
Rodriguez heard the crowd. He was a little bit embarrassed. Kicks it out of bounds.
Well,
hits
no harm,
Jamie Lucky.
No harm, no foul so far. But you know, if I'm Mark Gottfried, I don't like that possession. I mean, Cat Barber that time was just messing with Angel Rodriguez, and I'm not sure what the other 4 players on the North Carolina State team were supposed to be doing while all that was going on.
All right, here we go. We've got 15 on the shot clock. They've been getting it down to single digits before they shoot, but this is an inbounds pass. Here we go, 9 on the shot clock. Cat Barber knows it. Taken away by Rodriguez. Rodriguez evens the score. McMillan takes it down the lane and misses from close range. Lost out of bounds by the Canes.
Well, Sheldon McClellan used that Euro step that I was talking about, but not to his advantage. Didn't make the shot, didn't get the call. I think he was thinking more about getting the call than he was making the shot.
You know, there's not a stat for deflections, but Rodriguez gets a lot of them.
He really does. And you got to like the fact that he hadn't backed off in spite of the fact that Cat Barber's had a great day.
Cat Barber with 22 points. He averages 23. Maverick Rowan looks at it, doesn't take it. Shot clock down to 3. Again, the ball swatted away. Shot clock at 2. New 30 and knocked away. Crowd wanted Was that ball in the cylinder? Crowd thought it was in the cylinder. Instead, they called a foul.
I don't think so. I think that's going to be a foul for sure.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
but I'm saying the crowd wanted it in the cylinder.
Yeah, they wanted that, but they're not going to get that. There's no question. The ball was in, Maverick Rowan's hands right down towards the end of that shot clock. That was not a good thing. That's 2 possessions in a row that as you mentioned, Angel Rodriguez is getting his hands more on the basketball in Cat Barber's hands, which has not been happening thus far. He's just toughening his defense up.
Sheldon McClellan, big-time player, stretches 17 of 18 games, averaging 32 minutes. He's got 16 points now. It's a 5-point lead. Still plenty of time in the ball game. NC State trying to get the upset today over a top 20 team. State just 11-10, 1-7 in the ACC. Here's Anyu with a little step. And Abu with a drop step and puts it in.
That's the first time in 3 possessions they've gone away from Cat Barber, which might be a good idea.
Rodriguez gets it going the other way.
This is the time of the game where sometimes fatigue sets in. North Carolina State has not played as many players.
It's a heck of a battle going on between these 2 guys.
I'm not sure that Cat is playing the same level of basketball he was playing in that first half. What's happened is Angel Rodriguez has picked up his level of defense. And I think Cat Barber is waiting for the referees to bail him out. And, Angel Rodriguez is going out of the game now. We've got Davon Reed coming in. You're going to have Newton guarding Barber from here out.
Well, Angel Rodriguez was getting into it with Jamie Lucky, and Jamie was about to throw the tee at him. And Jim Larinaga very wisely took him out.
Yeah.
So they calmed him down.
I don't think you want to be messing with any of the officials at this time of the game. You don't want to get a technical.
Cat Barber makes him pay. 64-55. State. Miami 0 for its last 5 possessions. Here's Newton down the lane. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Well,
earlier in the game, we asked a trivia question. Abdul Malik Abu leads NC State with 10 double-doubles this season. Who's the all-time season leader in double-doubles for the Wolfpack? And the answer, Tom Burleson, had 26 double-doubles in the Pack's national championship year of 1974. Just think how many points these guys could have had if there was dunking legal, but shooting 3. Download more ACC trivia powered by Duke Energy in your app store today.
You gotta love Tom Burleson. I see him from time to time, and I'm telling you right now, there's not a finer individual anywhere than Tommy Burleson, and he loves the Wolfpack. He really does. He loves ACC, but he really loves the Wolfpack.
It's a team that scored a lot of points. No 3-point line back then. No dunking allowed with those big guys. They still scored a lot of points per game.
How about that team? Is that something or not?
Incredible.
Stoddard, Burleson, Thompson.
Cat Barber calls timeout as he gets it across the timeline. Got 5:12 to play in this ball game.
Well, he drove himself right across half court, stopped, and he was immediate double team.
Coming up tomorrow at 1 Eastern, Wake Forest takes on Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana. Devin Thomas leads the Demon Deacons. He's averaging a double-double, but he'll have his hands full with the Irish Zach August, who also averaged a double-double. For the ACC Network game schedule, visit the ACC.com/ACC Network. And remember that select ACC Network games are streamed live for free on the official ACC mobile app.
I tell you, when you look at tomorrow's game, Tim, you've got 2 really good players, both in the 6'8", 6'9" category. Both of them, look at the stats here, pretty much even, and both of them have got double-doubles. If you'd have voted, say, 2 weeks ago before Wake Forest hit its sled, I would have put Devin Thomas right up here, maybe second team all-conference.
Of course, August Jackson led Notre Dame to the ACC championship last year.
Well, Zach August is probably one of the more underrated big men in the league.
Again, they'll use a lot of the clock. Shorten the game. This foul's going to be on Anya, DJ Anya.
I didn't see the entire play, but I would venture to guess that McMillan set Anya up on that play, I would think. He kept pushing at him. That's his 4th foul, going to have to go out. Substitution coming in. Brother Martin's coming in.
How about this? We've got 5 minutes to play the game, 5:01. Miami's last field goal was way back at 9:10 remaining.
Wow.
It's a heck of a drought.
If you're North Carolina State, you got to continue to push out. McClellan's going to take threes. Oh, there he goes.
This is it. The drought continues. Time now becoming a factor. Maverick Rowan loses the handle. They don't have numbers. Newton kicks it into the corner. Davon Reed, yes!
When you turn the ball over at this level, it's almost like a penalty right away. You turn it over, other team's got a good chance to score. That's what happened. Maverick Rowan ought to take the 3 on that previous play instead of trying to get closer to the basket.
Five-point game with 4:14 remaining. Foul on Anthony Lawrence, his first. Take a look at our Haviland defensive shield. And how about DJ Anya and the blocks he gets every single game? Only one today. Maverick Rowan hits the first. He only has 5 points today.
Well, now he's a young player. He's from Florida. He's going to get better as he goes along. He comes out of high school with the reputation of being a great three-point shooter. He is for his age. He's going to get better at transporting the basketball off the dribble. I don't know that he'll ever be a great playmaker passing the ball, but he really can shoot the basketball.
Pinches that one just a bit. He was one of the nation's most highly recruited wings. Played Pennsylvania high school, played Florida high school, moved around. And Miami comes away empty. Newton with a 4th personal foul.
Well, we can see that Cat Barber can do things other than on the offensive end. That was great defense. Cut the baseline off. Jaquan Newton thought he had it. He didn't. Great defensive play by Cat Barber.
Under 4 minutes we go. Miami extends the defense. Great follow by Abdul Malik Abu.
And that's the way the game started. Offensive rebounding by the white-clad Wolfpack.
Reed is fouled by Maverick Rowan. Rowan picks up his 3rd personal. Into the corner, Reed, bang. What an afternoon in Raleigh. Wolfpack Nation looking for an upset over 15th ranked Miami. And they're 3 minutes and 38 seconds away from just that. You know, last year State had its big 3 with Trevor Lacey and Ralston Turner and Cat Barber. Now just one, the Cat, and he has been sensational. Cat Barber having another big afternoon. He's got 24 points. Meanwhile, Miami at the line. This is Davon Reed, 78% free throw shooter, and knocks down the first. Makes it a 7-point lead for State. Reed trying to cut into it one more time. And he does. Miami is 13 for 14 on the line in the second half. Didn't take one in the first half from the foul line.
Well, that was one of the keys we talked about at halftime, was trying to get them to the...
Way too easy. Martin right down Main Street.
Well, that's what happens sometimes when you double in the backcourt and you can't get your team back to get it full complement of defensive players. You know, what a game this has been, but also what a potential win this would be for the Wolfpack. They've been on the slide. let's face it, ball's going to be in Cat Barber's hands on pretty much the next 3 minutes.
Boy, Jim Larinaga did not like that shot at all. Really frustrated. Abu, drop step. Maverick Rowan is fouled by Reed.
Well, that was a really good decision by Abu. He was not in an advantageous position on that baseline. It was almost a turnover waiting to happen. He got the ball out into the hands of Rowan, who is a good free throw shooter.
Yes, he is. Almost 80% at the line this year. Makes the first.
It's going to be extremely difficult for the Hurricanes. They're going to have a hard time turning North Carolina State over. The ball's going to be in Cat Barber's hands. You foul him, it's almost an automatic two. So you're going to have to get to the point where you're trading twos for threes. They make 2 free throws. You got to hit a 3 on the other end. That's the only way you're going to catch them.
State pushes its lead back to 10. This is for 3. This game's getting away from Miami. This foul's going to be on Davon Reed, his second.
The Wolfpack faithful are feeling it, Tim. It's been a long time, long stretch. You know, when you think about it, you know, you're playing a ranked team in Miami. It's one thing to win a basketball game. It's another to win against a team that is top ranked. This is a team that could easily win not only the ACC championship in Miami, but they could go far in the NCAA tournament, and they will be in the NCAA tournament.
Well, Miami's going to need threes, and they're only 2 for 11 in the second half from the bonus sphere. They're loving it here at PNC Arena. You're right, Dave. They can feel it. Take a look at NC State's schedule from here on out. Not easy.
It's not easy. Well, we're in a situation with Florida State at Florida State. And of course, Duke's always tough over in Cameron. But they've got some games that are manageable there if they continue to play the way they're playing today. And that would be good pace, good defense, using balance with guys like Abu inside. And that gives them enough help for Cat Barber, not having him do everything. He's heading towards another 30-point day.
33 straight field goals made for Cat Barber now. He's got 26 points. I think Mark Gottfried's found something. Slow the tempo in these games, manage the game. Here's Jakiri inside. Nice pass from Rodriguez.
Well, that's only Jakiri's second field goal.
Cat Barber calls timeout when he gets tied up. Trying to do a little much, but he is milking the clock. They're down to 2:05 to play in this game.
Well, he milked the clock, Tim, but he got himself in trouble. He got to get rid of that basketball, and you know, if they're not going to foul him quickly, he's got to get rid of it so that they're not forced to take another timeout.
Let's take a look at the ACC headlines. The only defeated team, of course, Carolina. Right now, they're a step above everybody else, it seems.
Well, when they're clicking, Tim, they're not only the best in the ACC, but I think they're probably the best in America.
A lot of people think Duke has really struggled, and they have lost 4 of their last 5 games, but it's a team that knew it had some weaknesses. They're just trying to cover them.
Well, they've had 4 losses, but I will also tell you this. They've been in every game to the end. Maybe the Miami game maybe was an 8-9-point game, but they've been in every game right to the end, and they could win those games.
Of course, Jerome Robinson's been out 3 to 6 weeks, fractured wrist. He's done, and Boston College just hadn't recovered. They continue to struggle down the bottom. Tremendous defense. And NC State makes him pay. Oh, Abdul Malik Abu.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want to do if you're a Wolfpack is foul. You know, people holler all they want to. That was definitely a foul. But You know, you go back to that last offensive play, and Martin in the double team, it looked like he was going to step in the backcourt. He got the ball out. Not only did he get it out, he got it to a man who was clearly wide open for the cracker.
30-second clock was about to expire, too.
It was.
All that good defense wasn't paid off by Miami. McClellan makes the first.
It's going to be interesting if McClellan hits this free throw, and he probably will. He's a great free thrower. You know, if you're North Carolina State, you want to throw the ball as deep as you possibly can towards half court, which lessens the chance of a double team. They've been throwing the ball in from the foul line towards the out of bounds. Try to get it as deep as you can. Now, it's hard to do that when you've got all four guys inbounds from the top of the circle in.
1:48 to play.
They've got to have a thrust going deep.
And the foul call on Anthony Lawrence.
And that's the type thing that you don't want to have happen is, you know, you've got a guy like Abu going to catch the inbound pass. You know they're going to foul him right away. And not that he can't step up and make it, but you'd much rather have a guy like Cat Barber or one of the Martins to go, or even Rowan, to go catch the ball, be strong with it, and then give it to Cat and let him advance it up.
Abu 3 for 3 at the line.
He's good so far.
Make it 4 for 4. Abdul Malik Abu, young sophomore from Boston, turned down UConn to attend NC State. He was a part-time starter last year, averaged 19 minutes a game. His game continues to improve. He stays perfect at the line, and he's got 19 points. Nice pass to Jakiri. They're fighting the clock. Cat Barber has it taken away. Jump ball, no foul.
And it's going to be North Carolina State's ball, I believe.
Possession arrow does belong to State.
You know, if I were Mark Gottfried, I'd be a little bit concerned about his team's ability to use the clock. You know, the last time the defense, the Hurricane defense, sped Cat Barber up so fast that he actually turned it over. No reason for him to be in a hurry.
Seconds left. Barber loses it out of bounds. 1:16 remaining in the game. 22 on the clock. Shot clock.
I'm sorry, Tim. Even in that situation, he didn't need to be shooting that ball. He could dribble in, dribble out, use up some more of the clock. He's going to get it at the very end.
Foul is on Davon Reed, his third. Moot point now. Talked about Rowan. He was the high school player of the year in the state of Pennsylvania as a sophomore. His family moved to Florida. He moved to Florida, became the high school player of the year in Florida. And he's playing pretty well here.
He's covering all the bases, I would say.
NC State now 21 of 26 at the free throw line today, and that's been a big factor.
It has been a huge factor. That and offensive rebounding.
79-67. NC State gets it back in foul. State has scored over 80 points just once in the last 13 games. They're about to hit 80 right now. Jakiri picks up his fourth. Take a look at the ACC standings. It means a lot to NC State. They're 1-7. But they know they're better than that. We showed you the schedule they have coming up. Martin makes the free throw.
Well, again, those, you know, the games they've got coming, there are no easy games in the ACC, but, you know, they do have some manageable games. And even though they're on the road, you know, I think they found something with their zone defense. They can play that now, and that helps them stay out of foul trouble.
Miami's going to drop to 16-4. 5-3 in the conference. 57.3 seconds remaining. And the crowd knows that NC State is upset 15th ranked Miami. Our performance of the game is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Cat Barber, 26 points, about to add to him. 36 the other night, trying to get to his fourth 30-plus game.
Yeah, what's the over or under on whether he gets to 30 or not with almost a minute left? He's going to touch the ball offensively one more time, just to be a matter of whether they foul him or not.
NC State over 80 points for only the second time in the last 3.5 weeks.
You know, what a difference with your fans. We walked in here and people were not breathing real good. They were like worried they're going to lose another game. Now they're feeling very, very confident.
Newton missed the left-hander.
Now we'll see if they foul him. He's not giving it up. I can bet on that.
Final 33 seconds at PNC, and the crowd's on its feet. Barber, yes, sir.
There's his 30.
His fourth 30. 30 points for Cat Barber.
Basket by Newton, number 0.
A lot of credit to Mark Gottfried, a lot of credit to his staff, but more credit to his team. They came back when in a tough, everybody was down on them. They held their heads high and played well.
Final 10 seconds. Mark Gottfried's team just a 12-10, now 2-7 in the ACC. What does it mean to these fans? Well, they've been on their feet for the last couple of minutes. 85-69. We'll be back right after this.
ACC basketball is being brought to you by New York Life. Keep good going. By Food Lion. Life's better with the Lion. And by your local Chevy dealers.
Great day at NC State. Cat Barber, 30 points. For highlights and must-see moments from this game and others, check out theacc.com. You have been watching coverage of the Atlantic Coast Conference basketball on the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports.